That's secret number one. And I'll share a personal moment with you. I didn't know this was true yet. But I said to my daughter, as she had tears in her eyes, she was about 22 at the time, and sinking fast. Her chronic disease that she was diagnosed when she was 16 years old was putting about 35 pounds on her frame. Exercising, eating all the right ways that we've all been told. And this is a fitness family who had a conglomerate health club with dietitians, nutritionists. We went to see everybody, did everything. But I'm looking at her as we had a meal, and she explained the cravings that she couldn't rise above. And she was drowning or becoming invisible, as we use that word, within herself. And I said to her, Erin, it's not your fault. I know it's not. I've seen you try everything. There's no way in the world that you should be in a 35-pound weight crisis with all that you're doing. So weight woe is not a character flaw. It's nothing to do with organic or virtuous living, and it's not about exercise. Weight woe is, and this is what we had discovered, it's about sabotage. Yeah. If you are in weight woe, it is due to the fact that you actually, all humans are actually wired to be sabotaged. It's just that some of us get caught over and over again, and that weight woe just builds up. Okay? When you look up the word sabotage in the dictionary, this is so true. This is how our body works. Sabotage is a multifaceted attack. Think about a war. They're coming at you straight, they're coming at you from the side, they're coming from the other side. Multifaceted. It's very challenging to survive a situation like that, being sabotaged. And it's a deliberate obstruction to any cause or movement or effort. Deliberately obstructing your efforts. Do you feel like that? Do you feel like you've been sabotaged? I'm hoping what you're feeling is a bit of rise of hope, like, wait a minute. That's it? I'm sabotaged? Yeah, that's exactly it. You're sabotaged. Let's look into it, okay? Now, how is a human body sabotaged? Is that clean enough? How is a human body sabotaged from being able to lose weight, or to be able to not gain weight in the first place? We are actually sabotaged to put weight on. Okay, so how are we sabotaged? Whew, I'm being sabotaged right now because we have lights and I'm feeling the heat. Okay, so here we are. Each one of us, human body. Okay? One of the first ways that we are sabotaged from being able to resolve a stubborn, and that's not even a strong enough word, a lousy weight woe situation, is that our brain, we are primal individuals. We are wired for survival. So one of the saboteurs that keeps us alive, it's a life-preserving action, is dopamine. Dopamine is that rush that we get that makes us feel energized, makes us feel light and positive. Okay? Some of us might call it a sugar rush. Some of us might call it, just a feeling of euphoria or happiness. Think about comfort foods. Why are they called comfort foods? They make us feel comforted. They make us feel at ease. Because when we were, historically, our ancestors, and we were foraging through the forest and God knows where else out there, right? If we stumbled upon food like a berry, for example, and consumed that, That was pro-life preserving. So your brain is wired and it tells you, repeat that, repeat that, repeat that, because that's going to keep you alive. You're wired to pull in energy and to hold on to it. Okay, and there's a rush that goes to our brain, releases dopamine, makes us feel good, and I call it an action association. We associate that feeling good rush with the action of eating that sugary kind of food. Okay, when I say sugar, I mean all glucose, all fructose, all sucrose, all lactose, any kind of sugary food. Okay. Another way we are sabotaged, along with this same concept of brain, but this one's more about our emotion, okay? The feelings that occur because of brain activity. And this is actually endorphin. You know that one, right? We hear the exercise people in the world saying, I love my endorphins, I'm going for a run, right? Or, yeah. Well, endorphins are like, again, this rush of feel-good. It's an excitement. The interesting thing with endorphins, if you were just to open up a jar or glass little container of a vanilla extract, you know, we use that in our chocolate chip cookies and different kinds of baking. And if you ever tasted it, it's not sweet at all, right? If you ever just take a swig of it, remember I was little, I thought this smells so good, I'm going to drink it. Very bitter, right? But the smell gives you an endorphin rush. Yes, smelling vanilla extract will give you an endorphin rush lift. Jumping out of an airplane will give you an endorphin rush. Some of us will be like positive, some will be like terrified, right? Even, I thought this was so interesting, and this is what I love about Shift, we go deep into this kind of stuff. Gossip produces endorphins. Why, Barb? Why would, that sounds bad, I thought. Well, there's good gossip, right? It doesn't have to be negative gossip, but what does gossip, the idea of gossip, what does that promote in order to keep a human being alive back in our ancestor days? Why was that wired into our brain? Because it promotes social interaction. We are much more likely to survive if we are connected to other human beings. So this one keeps us alive by making sure we get foods that give us that rush of energy and ensure that the species will go on. And this one gives us that reward, reinforcement to repeat that action. Okay? That endorphin. So both of these are involved in foods that we eat and in social settings. The social component of food, family, culture, spirituality, soccer teams, right? Parties, co-workers, the lunchroom. Food and social connection are constantly linked. You'd be hard-pressed to find a social event where there wasn't food. Unless you come to one of my group fitness classes, we don't have food there. We feed off each other's energy. But you see what I'm saying? And the last saboteur is a mighty powerful hormone. So now our body, so we have our brain working to sabotage us, our emotions working to sabotage us, and our body working to sabotage us. And that chemical that's released by our body that sabotages weight loss is the mighty powerful insulin. Life-preserving hormone. We cannot be alive without it. But if you are in a weight loss situation like my daughter had been, insulin levels are higher than optimal. Okay? Insulin is just doing its job of protecting your bloodstream from too much glucose, an overburden of glucose. And once we understand how to eat, shift it, not less, just shift it, we can bring those insulin levels down. And guess what? Here's the escape hatch. This guy can drop right down. Okay, that's how simple shifting is. We don't have to even push out of the walls. We just open the escape hatch and drop right down. And I like to say that our insulin, like dopamine, kind of gives us that action association, right? That keeps us alive, but now is causing a big problem for us. Same thing with the endorphin, reinforcing by rewarding us. with a feel-good feeling, so I want to repeat that action. This is why it's hard to when friends say, let's go out for pizza, let's go out for nachos, let's go out. It's very hard to say no. Well, you won't ever have to say no again because you'll just know how to shift, okay? And then insulin is what I call our body guard. It actually keeps us alive. If we didn't have insulin, we would be dead very quickly. That's why type 1 diabetics have such a tough time. They have to inject insulin all the time to keep themselves alive, okay? And it's also our ballast, because it's that insulin rise and fall that happens according to the foods that we eat that actually keeps our blood sugar regulated. A ballast on a ship keeps things steady as best as possible, but it's that rise and fall of blood sugar that triggers your cravings. Put those cravings in along with the dopamine, and the endorphin, and we can understand now why it is so challenging. Willpower is nowhere near enough to get through all that multifaceted attack.